Hey, this is day one of Road to 300K of member wins, where I personally help members with their very first few coins. We've generated $186,061 so far, so you're going to be along the way as we slowly get to 300K. So let's get into it.
Total amount of money generated by members, $187,661. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep updating this number live whenever a member makes money, whenever a member closes a client. And you guys are going to be witnessing this with me as the number goes up and up and up every time I record these client fulfillments for members. Okay. So $187,661 today, as if it's June 13, 2025. Okay. So member clients fulfillment, $2,200 retainer. So let's read through his post. $2,200 retainer. 6 months ago, I was a complete beginner, feeling very blessed. Of course, I was thinking the other day, there are so many people in the world less fortunate than me who don't have the same privileges that I have. That is true. So it's kind of my duty to them to make the most of the blessings I've been given and not waste it. That is super deep, my friend. We're all blessed. Keep grinding, everyone. P.S. Ask me anything. I love these kind of posts when members mention P.S. Ask me anything, and everybody just gathers, and it's just this whole beautiful environment where values just not gate kept, and it's just awesome, man. So congrats, brother. Happy for you. Thanks, brother, etc. These are just comments. Okay, so let's just go ahead and help this member with fulfillment. I'm going to do it live. He works with a client that hosts private events for pharma and biotech CEOs, founders, directors, etc. It's so interesting how I mentioned this niche, biotech, multiple times in this channel. And the last time I actually mentioned it was probably like a month ago. And by the way, if you guys want to target biotech, is a really good niche. Amazingly, they have so much money and their average LTV is crazy, right? So these are intimate invitation only sessions, usually 12 people. They gather and talk about industry topics such as using AI to find new medicines, of course, because in the healthcare industry, in the biotech, pharma, etc. More of these companies are they are recently funded with billions of dollars, and they looking to incorporate AI into their business, okay? Which is, classic, because everybody's talking about AI now. So better ways to run clinical trials, okay? And how biotech companies get money and other stuff like that. So essentially, this is basically what the client does. Very, very simple, because typically when you work with clients, they usually have pretty vague offers. So your job is to just clarify it, and the offer at the end should make sense to a child, okay? So basically, this is what the client does. Let's just go ahead and walk you through how we're going to find these people. So essentially, these are the filters. We're going to go for industry, biotechnology, pharmaceutical, life science, medical practice, hospital, and healthcare. Classic. Company headcounts, we're going to go from 11 to 500. We can expand to 1 to 1,000 for more reach. Essentially, by the way, guys, this is basically just like a table that I sent to this member so he can just use these filters and get up and running. Okay. Seniority level, CXO, owner, partner, VP, director, geography. They have multiple locations, right? Company type, this is pretty much optional. Either could be privately held or optional public company. Function, operations, business development, research, healthcare, and healthcare services. So these are the three main ones that we should be focusing on, and he should focus on, right? So industry, company headcount, seniority level, and geography. Okay. So these are the filters to find these companies. All right. And this is the dream email that I wrote. Okay. So this is a subject line. Private Biotech Roundtable in San Francisco. By the way, this is just interchangeable depending on whether the event is going to be San Francisco or, I don't know, California. So it all depends on the clients, okay? Hey, first name, we're hosting. So by the way, first name is just the name of the lead. We're hosting a private roundtable and lead location, okay? So we're basically going to add the lead's location based off the data that we're going to scrape. Right. For biotech leaders, 12 CEOs, closed door, no vendor, just straight discussion. Okay. So this basically feels like it's it adds that scarcity, it adds that value to these events. Saw your leading company name. Company name is basically the company of that lead, and I thought you might enjoy the format. Last session had execs from relevant company plus relevant companies, essentially just some sort of social proof or talking to the founder or the CEO saying, hey, if you want to come, like there's going to be multiple CEOs from other companies. So it might be worth just coming and seeing how it goes. Exchanging strategies on emergent topics like AI, clinical trials regularly, etc. Let me know if you'd like me to get you a seat. See how the tone is very casual? I can share the topics in full guest list, okay? And X is basically his name. I'm not going to share his name, obviously, okay? So this is the dream email. And now let's just go ahead and scope out the project. So my goal here is just to build him in like a fully automated sales system, okay? That we can essentially just drag and drop a list scraped, and the system is just going to handle everything for us, pre-draft the copy, clean up the data, etc. Okay? So let's just go ahead and scope it. So let me just go to this plus button, go to diagram shape, rectangle. Okay, so we're just gonna scope the overview, like basically like a sort of like a high level of what the system does, and then we're just gonna go ahead and build it. Okay, so step one is drag and drop list scraped off LinkedIn Sales Nav. So LinkedIn Sales Nav, guys, is basically like Apollo, right? It's like a lead sourcing database. So drag and drop lists scraped off Sales Nav, and then what we're gonna have to do is enrich, handle everything, that data processing, and then the last step is basically going to be pre-draft, copy, and add to sequence. Okay, sequence is basically just the cold email software that you're going to be using, okay? We're going to be using Instantly, because Instantly is just better than Smart Lead, okay? This is, I've tried Smart Lead when I first got started, and it was pretty good, but now their warm-up system is pretty much cooked, okay? So I just like Instantly. I've built my entire business on Instantly. There's other platforms such as Plus Vibe, which is really interesting, actually. So Plus Vibe, which is this one. Yeah, Plus Vibe AI. Yeah. As you guys can see, it's super similar to Instantly, isn't it? Right? So this one is pretty good, right? I think it's cheaper. So $45 a month. So the way they differentiate themselves is if you go to Instantly, you see that the pricing, they are pretty manipulative with their pricing. I mean, it's totally cool because, I mean, this is how businesses make money, right? So you can't hate the player. So if you see here monthly, you can go from growth, right? And then they jump. Oh, actually, they up the price. So $47. And they up the price to, oh, actually, that's a pretty dumb way to explain this. I'm going to go to outreach. So they actually lowered the price, right? It was basically like 39, so it's 37. And then we have the hyper growth, which is 97. So it jumped from 37 to 97. Okay, for them, you can essentially like fetch by how many emails you want to send. So if you want to send 5 kids, only $50 a month, which is pretty sweet. This is how they differentiate themselves. But anyway, so drag and drop lists, scraped off LinkedIn Sales Nav, enrich data, handle everything, data processing, pre-draft copy, and add to sequences. Obviously, there's going to be like 1,000,001 step between all of these high-level steps, and this is how it works. Whenever you scope out a project, typically you think this is going to be just 3 modules, but when you actually build, you see like there's like a 300 modules, okay? So right now, I'm just going to go to linkedin.com. By the way, send me a connect. I accept everybody. I'm going to go to LinkedIn, and then I'm simply going to go to LinkedIn Sales Nav. So this lady, writing daily changed my life. I couldn't agree more. So I'm going to go to leads, and I'm simply going to type in, for example, X here. Okay, so I can just enter or get access to the dashboard. So current company, we're just going to skip this. Company headcount, click on this plus button. So what do we want? We want 1 to 500. So 1 to 10, 11 to 50, 51 to 200, 200 to 500. Okay, sweet. All right. So industry. So let's go to industry. I believe we have the biotechnology here. If you don't, we're just going to go a little bit broad. Okay, we have it. Awesome. Yeah, LinkedIn sales nav is pretty good. Pharmaceutical. Yeah, pharmaceutical. Manufacturing, true. And also pharmaceutical retail, right? Medical practice. And then hospital and healthcare. So hospital and healthcare. So we're at 150K results. So I'm just going to go geography. I'm going to go a little bit broad to United States. So United States, and maybe we can just filter down as we go. So role, so seniority level. Okay, let's just go to seniority level. We do not want entry. Click on this plus button. Go to CXO. I don't think we have the CXO. Oh, we do. Okay. LinkedIn sales nav is just upping their game every single time. Owner and partner and VP director. Okay, so vice president and director. I think we do have director here. Yeah. Okay, sweet. So we are at 10K results. Functions. Okay. So let's just go to function and then healthcare services. Healthcare services. All right. And then we want business development and research. Yeah. Business. I think we do have it. Business development. Okay, sweet. So I'm at what? 6.5K results. That's a lot. I just want 2.5K. So check this out. Oliver Berglund, dental practice owner, corporate medical director. Okay, so I can see that I don't want the dental practices. Yeah, I don't want the dental. So I think I know why. Because I added in the industry. Medical practices. I just have a gut feeling about it. Okay, sweet. Research Institute. So now, see, now it's better because I have 6.5K. I'm just going to remove the retail too. So I can get 2.5K. So it's still there. I'm just going to remove biotechnology. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, is because I just want 2.5K results, because in order for you to scrape LinkedIn, right? You don't have to go over 2.5K results, because you risk your account getting banned. And by the way, they're just going to give you like a little ban, like 24 hours. Okay. So it looks like I'm on 1K. I'm going to add a couple ones. So pharma, surgical. I'm going to add pharmaceutical manufacturing. So this is the process of building a list, essentially. So you need to go ahead and see, actually not medical practices. Let's just add healthcare. And then we can remove the manufacturing and leave the hospital and healthcare. So 6K, awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this. Okay, so that's fine. I can just scrape 2.5K. Yeah, so I'm just going to go to Phantom Buster, right? Which is essentially like Epify. And let me walk you guys through it. So if I go to Phantom Buster, so essentially they provide you with really seamless way to scrape LinkedIn. So you go to solution, you'll see you can scrape LinkedIn Sales Nav, LinkedIn, Google, Instagram, HubSpot, which is pretty awesome. The one that we want is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and it's going to be Sales Navigator Search Export. Learn more. Okay, I can click on Use Now, right? And then now all I have to do is simply just copy this URL, paste it here, click on Save. Okay, so they found my account, click on Save. Export just to 2500. If the Phantom does not scrape all those learners, we'll pick up where it left the next launch, which is awesome. So check this out. Sales Navigator only displays the first 2500 results of the people. Okay. So we recommend processing a maximum 2500, right? So I'm just going to click on Save. We should pretty much scrape 2,500, but by the way, it's going to take like probably like 40 minutes. So I'm going to click on launch, right? So running, as you guys can see, so the scraper is running. So running 0%. And then you will see that the leads were going to be populated here, okay? So in results. And the cool part is they give you the list as CSVs. You can export it. All right. Sweet. So let's just go ahead and wait a little bit while the scraper is just scraping the leads for us. Okay, so we finished scraping. We have these people right here, all of these leads. So the only thing you have to do now is click here to download. And then let's just name this biotech leaders. Okay, so I have my list. All right, so now let's just go ahead and start building. Okay, so I'm gonna sign in to my make.com account. By the way, I'm gonna be building systems, basically sales systems in NA10, because in my company, if you guys don't know myoProcess, we're transitioning everything to NA10 because, yeah, we noticed that, I've built my entire business in make.com, and if I showed you guys the bill of make.com, you guys would be traumatized. So we're cutting the costs and then switching everything to NA10. So expect that I'm going to be recording all my systems from now on NA10. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to name this day one. How much do we have here? So we have 187. That's a big number. So I'm going to go to make day one. Boom. And actually, for people to download it, I'm going to add a dash, and it's going to be biotech. Okay. And biotech clients, events. So people can actually just reference to it, if they have similar clients, right? So for example, you're watching this and then you have like a biotech client, whatever, you can just refer to it. So I'm going to click on this plus button. And then the first thing I want is a Google Drive. Okay. So I'm going to go to Google Drive and it's going to be watch files in a folder. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to drop that list and the system's just going to do everything. Okay. So I'm going to click on this add button. I'm just going to name this, day one, sign in with Google, and I'm going to sign in using my account. Right. By the way, in order for you to sign in with Google Drive, you need like a professional business email. I don't know why Make does this. Pretty stupid in my opinion, but there is a hack. You can simply Google, and I'm going to link this in the resource down below. You can simply Google connect Make to Gmail. And there's multiple tutorials actually. There's like an entire thread on this. So the only thing I have to do is to create like a bullshit app in Google, and then you can just do it. I'll link you the article after this. Okay. So now I have my Google Drive module. Well, what do? I'm just gonna go to my Drive, and then I'm gonna connect this account because this is the one that I actually connected to Make. So by the way, if you guys don't know, there was like the third of the internet was down yesterday, and Cloudflare also was down. So this is why I have this internet bullshit that you guys just saw right now. So I'm just gonna click on add new folder because we want a folder. So this is going to be biotech client create. So you're gonna create a folder, right? So it's called biotech client, and then I'm gonna go to select the folder to be watched. So I want the biotech clients. So in terms of file types to watch, I'm just gonna keep it all, and limits I'm just gonna put 1. Click on save. Okay, so from now on, click on save and run once. Now if I run once, nothing is here because literally I did not drag or drop anything. Okay, so all I have to do is simply drag and drop the lists here, right here. And then I'm just going to open it with Sheets. So I have my list here basically in Google Sheets because we exported from Phantom Buster as Google Sheets. Okay, sweet. So now if I run once, check this out. Boom, I have the access of the data, web view link. Okay, so what do I do now? Well, this is going to be watch folder. Okay, and I'm going to click on this plus button. I want to retrieve it. I'm just going to go to Google Sheets, search rows, and then I'm going to go to spreadsheet ID, and then I can simply just map it by going to file ID, right? But I don't want this because I need to build the system, hard code Google Sheets, finish up the system build, and then at the end, I can just map the file ID at the end, so the system just runs automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to hard code the spreadsheet ID. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to copy it by going to file ID, copy it, okay? And then I'm going to unlink this, put this here, and I'm going to spreadsheet ID, hard code it here. The sheet name is going to be, I believe, sheet 1. Actually, no, it's Biotech Leader CSV. Okay, so I'm just going to go here, copy this, paste this here, and limits, I'm just going to put 1. And then I'm just going to click on save, and then let me run once. I have an error. So I know why, because I need to go to sheet 1. And save. I have an issue with this. Okay, looks like the spreadsheet ID is not being mapped. So I'll just, just map it from here. Yeah. So it's biotech, I believe. Biotech leaders. And the sheet name is going to be mapped. So let me just map biotech leaders. And I'm just going to save. And I believe I'm not going to have that issue now. Okay, sweet. So I don't have that issue now. Sweet. I'm going to name this search rows. Okay, so now I can essentially just build the remaining of the system. So click on this plus button. And I have the name, full name, Oliver, etc., etc. Okay, so what do I want? Well, I want to find their email. Okay, well, how do I find their email? To just use the command center, which is this one right here, which is an email enrichment platform that is specifically built for people in the community. That way they can lower costs and focus on actually doing the work, which is Email Finder. Okay, so all you have to do is just feed in the company name or company website, and then actually the company website and the first name and last name of that person, and it's just gonna give you the email. Okay, so for example, if I simply just test endpoint, boom, this is valid, this is my email. If I go to Email Finder, I can essentially just, again, test endpoint, and I will see that I'm gonna find the email, 200, accepted, valid. All right, so this is the email Finder, this is the verifier, and this is the email provider, and we also have LinkedIn Company Scraper, which is awesome. So if I essentially just feed in my company myoProcess, I can test the endpoints, and I have, that's it. We build sales systems for recruitment agencies. Sweet. All right. So now what do I do? Well, I'm cognizant of my viewers. They don't have access to this. So we're simply going to use any email finder. Okay. So any email finder, search for a person's email, and simply go to anyemailfinder.com. Once you sign up, give them your credit card, and then I need to log in. So I'm just going to log in using this account. Sweet. So I have this. I'm going to go to API. I'm going to copy my API key here and go back, click on add, go to API key, paste this here, and click on save. Okay. So I'm going to search by company name, and the company name is company name, full name. So this is a very long name. I'm pretty sure email phone is not going to find the email. So first name, actually we do have the full name. I think we do. Full. Okay, we do have the full name. Okay, save. Now let's just test this and see if any email finder is going to be able to find the emails. This is a long company name, so I'm not really sure. But by the way, if you find 50 to 60% of the emails from a lead, from a less scraped, that's really good. Success. Yeah, we couldn't find this. That's fine. So let's just go ahead and try in 2. So limits 2. See, the way an email finder works is that they stored, if the email is found, they store it in their database, which is pretty awesome if you think about it. That way they can lower costs, and people who choose to use their service, they already have the email stored in a database. So if someone tries to find that email again, they can just give it to them instead of like trying to ping their own server again, which is very smart. Okay, sweet. So it looks like found the second email, which is sweet. Now I'm going to click on this plus button, and then I'm just going to clean up the company names, because if you guys noticed, we have the company name, which is U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. No, we don't want that. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to use Entropic. You can use any AI model that you want. I'm just going to use 3.7 so that's max token 750. Add messages, user, content is going to be text. And then I'm just going to feed in a prompt that I have and the 7-figure prompts, which is essentially like company name cleaner. Okay. So, this is the company name cleaner, Control C, paste it here. So normalize the, let me check if you guys can see everything. No. There we go. So company name, which is company name from the domain. So from the domain, so I'm just going to feed in the email and get to the domain, which is a very smart way if you think about it, based off an at, and then get to. Yeah, because the domain, right, it's after the at. So I'm split in based off an at, I'm getting army.mil. Okay, and then the person's headline, I'm gonna feed in the the title description. Okay, so I'll put a concise, casual abbreviation employees might use, provide the only finalized results in the correct JSON as result. Okay, click on save. Okay, and then rename this clean company names. Okay, now if I run this just one, and then I'm gonna click on this plus button, go to JSON because I want to parse the JSON. Go to JSON string and feed in the text response. Make is gonna yell at you, so just ignore warnings and run anyway. I like to ignore warnings. Army Corps. Okay, sweet. Now it's way better. Now, since I've cleaned the company names, well, what do? I need to simply just pre-draft the copy, okay? So before I actually do this, I'm going to add a filter here, the condition email exists. Email exists. Click on save. Okay, I'm going to have to add a break module. Yes, break module here in email finder, so I handle the rate limits. So interval between 10 minutes, yes. So if you encounter any issues, in email finder is gonna, like, the flow is gonna stop, wait for 10 minutes, and then continue where it stopped, which is pretty sweet. So the way you're gonna do is go to scenario settings, allow storing of incomplete executions, save. Okay, so clean company names, etc. Well, what do I need now? I'm gonna click on this plus button, and then I need to pre-draft the copy, right? So the dream email is the dream email. So I believe I'm gonna have to copy this, and I believe I need to add the location and clean up the location. So I'm gonna click on this plus button, go to tools, and I'm gonna assemble the dream email, which is basically the cake. I'm assembling the cake and I'm gathering the data. Okay, hey, first name. Okay, so I have the first name, which is this guy, Oliver. We're hosting a private roundtable in lead location. I think we have the location here. Yeah, Omaha, Nebraska, United States. So I'm gonna click on save. And before I actually do that, I'm just gonna name this dream email. Save. And then I'm gonna add a Entropic module. And I believe I already have in my 7-figure prompts, clean location prompt. If I don't, I'm going to add it. Clean date. So I have the, I think I don't have the name. I do have the name. I just don't have the, yeah, that's fine. I can show you guys how to come up with a prompt. Easy. So 750, go to add messages, user, content is going to be text. So return the location from, and the best way to train AI models, just give them an initial example, such as the Omaha. Retain the location from to Omaha. Output the result only in the correct JSON as the result. Save, and actually, no, we need to feed in the original data, which is location, and its location here. And then I'm going to have to add another JSON, parse JSON. And then I'm going to have to feed in the text response. And then let's just save and run. So Omaha, sweet. So now I can simply name this clean location. Okay, sweet. So I have the location. So we're hosting a private roundtable in location, which is result. And then company name is going to be the clean company name. Relevant company, exact, I'm not going to put the rights, like the actual social proof that they have, obviously. Execs was from myoProcess plus, let's say, or let's just do example company plus example company. Okay. So now I can save this and then run once. Sweet. So I have Oliver hosting a private roundtable in Omaha for biotech leaders. Saw you're leading USA CE and thought you might enjoy the format. Okay, sweet. So this is dream email. And then I can essentially just add everything to instantly. So I'm going to click on this add button, go to instantly, add leads to a campaign. And I'm going to go to my instantly account. And by the way, I'm going to rotate this API key after this. You do not want to expose your API key. I'm just doing it because I'm recording a video. So log in to this account. This is the new, they added like a co-pilot, which I think it's a dumb idea. Campaign, biotech, client. Okay. I'm going to click on this settings. This is how you authenticate your API key and instantly. Go to API keys, make sure it's version 1, copy API key, and then simply go to add, paste it here, and click on save. Okay, so if I go to campaign ID, I'm going to retrieve that campaign that I just created, which is biotech client. So let's just do it again. Biotech clients. So lead email, and the first name is obviously first name, last name. Company name is the clean company name that we have, which is results. And then personalization is going to be dream email. And also I'm going to add custom variables such as location, because we're going to be using that in the follow-up. So it's results. So add to sequencer. Okay, so now if I run once, I'm going to see my lead added to instantly here in my leads. Sweet, got added. Now I can just hard code personalization. So there we go. All right. I can add send from my iPhone. Got a comment last video asking, why are you adding send my iPhone? Basically, when prospects read through send from my iPhone, they're like, okay, this person just generated this entire email for me, generated. You know, we've been in a sales agency owner for a while when we say generated instead of writing an email, right? So, this guy just wrote, or this person wrote this entire email for me on their phone. It's so personalized. They did their homework. I must reply, right? So this is the subject line. So private biotech roundtable, and check this out now. This is the reason why I added location variable in Omaha. See? Makes sense now, right? So I have my leads now. Well, what do? I can essentially just put this little puppy here, add this here, and essentially now I've built the system. The only thing I have to do is spreadsheet ID, map it as spreadsheet file ID. Sheet name is essentially going to be name. And then limit, this is how many leads you want to add, okay? So I'm just going to save this, okay? And now I run once. I have nothing here. Now, if I go back to my biotech, delete everything, move to trash, and then I can simply just drag and drop. Well, now I dragged and dropped it. Let me open it with the Google Sheets. By the way, if you're wondering how to scale this, I'm going to give you like an idea. Basically what I've done when I was using these systems when I was trying to scale. So watch folder, well, now I can just run once. Well, now I can get access to it. So invalid arguments. I think I know why. Yeah. Name, save. Boom, now we have it. Sweet. So now I have everything. Okay. So now simply I can map the company name, which is company name. Full name is going to be full name. Okay. Now everything else is after this is okay, so the 10, which is, yeah, it's 10. Yeah. Sweet. Company location, I'm going to have to feed in the location, which is Omaha, in this case, Omaha, Nebraska, which is 13. And then sequencer, I believe everything is there. Yeah, I need to add the first name and last name. And it's actually there. Yeah. All right, sweet. Okay, so this is search rows. I believe that's pretty much it. Now let me just save this. So now I can just run once. Obviously nothing is here. Let me just delete this, move to trash, same thing, drag and drop, open it, open with Google Sheets. Okay. Sweet. Well, now I can just run once. Boom. And then now everything is getting added. See? So if I go to my instantly, I'm getting all my leads added. Hey, Marcus, we're hosting a private roundtable in Huntington Beach for biotech leaders. See? Now it's way better. Okay, so we're finding the emails. And the break module is going to handle everything, which is awesome. Okay, so the system is working. Of course, it's working. This is how it works. All I have to do is just drag and drop. Okay, now let's talk about scalability, because very important. Because you want to be able to do this for a long time, right? Because that's why we are here. So when I first got started, I was basically just dragging and dropping my lists. And I used to put this as in every 120 minutes. So every 2 hours, I would scrape, right? And all I have to do is just drag and drop. And every 2 hours, this module is going to check if there's a new Google Sheets, okay? If there's a new list added, okay? Scraped off Fence Buster, okay? And then after that, I was like, this is too much friction. Let me just hire VA. So if you want to scale this, just basically like hire like, let me add the pen here. Basically just hire like a VA for like an Upwork, right? Or Fiverr. Just hire a VA that just basically handles all this for you. You can basically just record a video of you doing like the entire lead scraping, what I used to do is I basically just put up a Google Doc and say, here are the filters that I want, etc., etc. Like this is the campaign, and then I recorded myself doing it once as a step by step, and I just give them the link as Loom, right? And then eventually, like essentially, they just do that, and the only thing they have to do is basically drag and drop in that folder. That's literally it, and the system is gonna run every 2 hours, check if there's a new list scraped, and adds everything to an instantly campaign, and that campaign is already launched. So now the only thing they have to do is just take on the calls, right? So the leads are getting added and the replies are there. Okay, so that's literally it. Now this is basically how to fulfill for a similar client. Now you guys are equipped with everything that you guys need. I'm going to keep adding all of these numbers from people. And by the way, this is just upfront fees. This is not like revenue shares, okay? And typically like members make like 15 to 20% off each deal. So like the average LTV is like 50K, and they make like 15% out of that, which is $7,500. This is not including the rev share deals. This is just upfront fees, which is pretty awesome, right? This is how, I mean, you make the world a better place. But anyways, this is basically how you fulfill, guys. The only thing you have to do now is essentially just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.